new episode of The Afterlife File. I'm your host, Randy, and today we've got a special guest on. We've got my homegirl, Ruby, aka Dana, aka Texas Girl. Maybe we'll do that as like an intro whenever we have a guest on or something. We'll do a bunch of AKAs and it'll just be more ridiculous than the last. That'll definitely be a thing. But yeah, today on episode 5, we got my homegirl Ruby on. She'll be the first guest. A renowned witch out of Texas. She knows way too much for her own good, but she's been teaching me the ropes and everything, and it's been good. She's been sharing all the knowledge in our Discord and everything. So everything's good. Everything's good. I'm glad to have Ruby on as the first guest. I think it'll be a good little conversation. This is kind of like an experiment to see how it'll be having guests on and everything on the show. So we'll probably insert like an applause, something right there. But yeah, what's up, Ruby? How was work?
Long day. Always a long day.
I feel it. But you're already off though, so that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. What I wanted to talk about today was the all these things that have been happening lately with the NHI and the UFOs and everything that's been happening all across the states, and not even just across the states. It's been happening like everywhere. You can look in different countries in fucking Russia, China, South America. The shit's happening everywhere. Africa.
Yeah.
In the middle of fucking nowhere, Virginia. Like it's everywhere.
Crazy.
So,
I hear they're even seeing them like above water.
I know, and they're saying that they can even just go straight from like they're like multi-plane like objects. So they can go from air for like outer space to air to like the water through. They can go through everything: water, air, land, everything. So it's kind of crazy, right?
That is really insane.
I know, and all these fucking videos that are coming out, and all these whistleblowers, and all these podcasts that are coming out, it's crazy. It's just getting more and more ridiculous, and the more we're finding out, it's like I keep saying, if any of these things happen to turn out to be true, then that blows everything out of the water. It'll literally like, it'll prove magic is real. It'll prove teleporting is real. It'll prove there's intelligent life out there, and we're definitely not the only ones. I don't know why we think we are, but it's kind of crazy. It's ridiculous.
Kind of an arrogant thought, huh? Think that we're
It
the
is,
only
and
intelligent life force there is. My goodness.
another arrogant thought is that our government has a monopoly over it, right?
Yeah.
I think that's a big misconception that a lot of people have. They think, oh, the United States has this monopoly on it. I'm like, no. If these people and these aliens and everything is coming from out there, they have a different kind of connection, right? They have, and they're not just connecting with our government. They're not just going specifically to them. They're talking to anybody that can have this connection with them and find that connection. And I think that's the key, is figuring out how to get that connection, how to do everything like that, and then still, you know what I mean? So I think lately in like the last couple of weeks, I think that's exactly what's been happening. All these people were figuring out, these they're calling them psionic assets. The people that work for the military and everything, like the Air Force, the people, those are the psychics that they're using for the military to like summon these NHI pretty much. And
That's
it's kind of crazy because
the military has psychics like that.
it's a whole, the Air Force specifically has got a whole section of just psychics that they're using to summon these NHI and everything out of there. So it's actually crazy. And if that proves to be true, that's fucking ridiculous. I think.
I do believe it though. I absolutely believe that you can contact them telepathically and
Right. It wouldn't be the craziest thing I've heard too.
even astral projectors. Like, I mean, I don't know if you've ever heard of Alba Weinman, but she does like regression hypnosis,
Oh, really?
and she takes people back, and a lot of people are like having past life experiences that are not human, but they're like, NIH. So that's
Yeah, NHI, right?
crazy. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I got the lettering
Oh
backwards
no,
going.
you're good. You're good. With
But
your
yeah,
practice
just
and everything that you've been doing, what are the similarities? Like of all the things that I tell you, what are the kind of similarities that you notice between the paranormal and the extraterrestrial?
um
Because I see a lot of similarities in them. I ain't even gonna lie, I see a lot of. I think my theory on the whole thing, I'll tell you, Dana, and then you can kind of give your what you think about it. I think every intelligent life form out there is connected in some way. We just got to figure out how. It doesn't matter, and that goes down to everything from trees. Like, have you ever seen the movie Avatar? Like, not
mhm,
the Last Airbender, but the blue people.
yeah.
You know what's weird? I literally watched a podcast the other day, and this guy was like, he worked at Area 51, and he thought, well, he knows that he saw an NHI on the side of the road. It's the one I put in the Discord, right?
Mhm.
And the guy, he said the NHI was like a light blue tint, kind of like an avatar was. He was super tall. He didn't have any ears. He literally described, and I just thought about this right now. He literally described what those avatar people were: tall, light blue tint, no ears, giant
Mhm.
eyes, NHI, right? And he saw
Mhm.
one like on his way to go to work at Area 51. So I'm like, this is crazy.
Well, like I believe that a lot of our movies and even TV shows have a lot of truth to them.
Yeah, there was one in the 70s. I forget the name of the show. I've never seen it, but
Well,
this.
I don't know if you watched it or not, but I think it was it The Simpsons?
Oh yeah, they're
Before
always they're always predicting
before
stuff.
like years before Donald Trump even ran for president, like they had him on there as president. And I was like,
Hmm.
that's crazy.
I know, and they predicted a lot of other stuff too. They
Mhm.
predicted like the twin towers going down. They predicted all
Mhm.
that stuff in like the 80s or the 70s or like the 90s or whenever it was.
Yeah, so like how do they do that?
What do you think that is? Do you think that's somebody passing along information?
I
Somebody that works for
don't
Simpsons
know.
just has like just knows something that we don't?
They just have a knowing that we don't know about? I don't know. It's weird
Because it
though.
keeps happening. There's another TV show that came out in the 70s, and there was this guy that came from outer space on a spaceship that was in the shape of an egg, and he came down to Earth, and he was trying to live like a normal life, like as a human, but he wasn't a human. He was like an alien, right? But that's what the
You
TV show was
talking
about. But
about
he,
Mork and Mindy?
I think so. Yeah, he lived. He like went to bed in this egg, right? Is that
Yeah.
it?
Yeah.
That's crazy. Yeah. And so that came out in the 70s, and now all these UFOs that are showing up nowadays, that's exactly what they're saying they are. They're like eggs.
Actually, I think Mork and Mindy was like late 70s, early 80s.
Yeah, it was like in that time
Something
frame,
like that.
right?
Yeah. Because I mean, I used to watch that show all the time growing up. And
See, that was before me. I never seen it.
mm, I was an 80s kid.
Yeah, that's cool though. Yeah, that's my theory though. I think everything intelligent life form, it doesn't matter what you are or how we perceive them, because I think humans are kind of biased in a lot more ways than one. I think we'll look at an ant and think, "Oh, that thing isn't that smart," but I also don't think an ant would be like intelligent life form, you know. I
Are
think a
you
tree
kidding
would.
though? Like an ant can lift what, 100 times its weight, its
But
own
see,
body
that's the
weight,
thing.
and
Exactly. And they do work together, and they are super smart, and they do have
they
like a
are.
common goal. So it's like what qualifies as
Hmm.
intelligent life form?
Right. I mean, the ants work together better than we do.
I know.
We're
And they get
supposed
shit
to be
done.
so progressive, and yeah, right.
But that's the whole theory, right? That's what they're saying. These NHI that come to Earth, they come every 5 years, and they literally think that the aliens or whatever, they think the NHI they say that they have like a unibody government, and it's like a one planet kind of government, you know.
Mhm.
There's no borders over there. It's kind of all together and everything. But it'll be interesting. I think in our lifetimes, though, for like 1,000%, we're gonna find out. You know, I don't think there's gonna be any doubt, anything. We're gonna eventually all know the answers to like the big questions, right? What happens after death? Are we alone in the universe?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Will Randy ever get laid? No, I'm kidding. Those are like the big three questions, right? Oh, it's too
Oh
funny.
my goodness.
That's cool though. I think it's all connected though, even the paranormal. I think when people pass away, I think the same way that we have this connection to the
Mhm.
afterlife, even when we're alive, is the same way we have it. It's just, it may be amplified when we die, you know?
Yeah.
Maybe we don't know where we go, but we have an idea of like, okay, there's three really places you can go. You can go to hell, you can go to heaven, you can go to purgatory. It's just figuring out what lands you in each one, like actually, you know?
Mhm.
We can take what people say with a grain of salt and be like, oh, if you live a good life, you'll end up here. Or if you live a bad
But
life, you're
does
going to end up
anybody
there.
really know where purgatory is, though? I mean,
Purgatory? Yeah, that's what I'm
where
saying.
exactly is that?
I think
Is it
that's like the
Earth?
limbo.
Are they stuck
Maybe.
there on Earth? I mean,
I mean, it could be. Maybe purgatory is just getting a redo, but like, you don't want the redo. Maybe purgatory is just reincarnation, but we don't understand it as
mhm.
that, you know? Maybe purgatory is ghosts. That's what I think it is. That's my theory on purgatory. I think purgatory is when spirits get stuck and they can't quite make it to heaven or hell. They just kind of get stuck there.
Mhm.
And there's so many variables that go into that, like why spirits get stuck in one spot. There's got to be something to that, you know? Because you never hear about spirits or anything crossing state lines, right? You never hear about the Sally house, the Sally demon fucking haunting California, right? But what if they could, you know? That
Well,
would change everything.
weren't they trying to put a link between what was happening at the Sally House and what was happening at was it Whiteface?
Why, well, aren't they like kind of close?
Or was it the Velasquez Axe House? And they're like states apart, right?
Yeah, the Axe Murder House is a couple, I think that's in what, Missouri or something?
Yeah, wasn't one of the little girls' portraits
Sally's
taken
in
or something,
Kansas.
and she looked just like Sally or something?
Mm-hmm.
So they were like thinking, and also like they're in the same street, same address, right?
Mm-hmm.
It was the Velasquez Axe Murder House or whatever it was.
Yep, that's Emerald's favorite. His like number one spot that he wants to investigate, the Axe Murder House.
Oh,
That's like
jeez.
that's my top two. Sally's number one, and then it would definitely be the Axe Murder House for sure.
Yeah.
What's your top three places that if you could, like, if money was no option or whatever, like you could investigate today, where would you go?
Hmm.
I'll tell you mine first. My top three would be Sally, Axe Murder House, Penhurst. Either Penhurst or Waverly would be the third one. Some kind of asylum though.
I mean, are we staying in the United States?
Anywhere, anywhere. If money was no option, you could investigate fucking Mars. Would you go? Like, what would be your top
I
three?
would want to investigate like the catacombs or something like that.
Ooh, in Paris,
Yeah, and like go down to the
like the catacombs and everything.
yeah, but like also where Jesus was supposedly crucified and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like
With the catacombs, I don't quite
what is
think
it
that place
called?
is.
Via della Rosa or something like that?
Mm-hmm.
Like there's like a whole street that he walked down
Yeah,
carrying that
that's in.
cross and
Yeah, that's in Israel.
yeah, I'd want to go there
Mm-hmm.
and probably just check out some pharaoh's tombs or something like that.
Ooh, like Valley of the Kings, right?
Yeah.
That'd be crazy. Those are good spots, actually. I didn't even think to go anywhere international. I'm like, You wouldn't want to go to like the Conjuring House or anywhere like that?
I mean, if I was gonna just stay within the States, I probably would go to like Waverly's a good place. I would definitely
Mm-hmm.
want to go to Waverly.
Yeah.
Um, for sure those institutions like Penhurst and
What's that one
um
asylum that has the big death chute at the bottom? Like there was gargoyles outside. It was like a huge asylum.
yeah,
I forget the name. That's my favorite place to watch people investigate, though.
is it Indiana State Sanatorium or
I don't know. I remember watching Exploring with Josh go there. A lot of
I
people
know
went there.
Indiana State has like a prison and a sanatorium, so I'm not really sure. But
I don't think
yeah,
it was
there's
a
a lot of them
prison,
around though.
or maybe it was a prison because, like back then, things were fucked up, right? Like you could be able to send your wife out to these prisons or like asylums because you didn't like your wife, right? Like imagine that still fly today. That would be crazy. Would you think
Kind of
you would
sort
end
of
up in an
does. I
asylum?
mean, if you get the wrong kind of person, all it
Yeah,
takes is like one signature to have you locked up, criminally
right.
insane and stuff. Just say
And then you have to prove
you
your
attacked
innocence. It's
somebody.
crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy. But yeah, I definitely want to check out sanatoriums for sure.
What's the difference
Um,
between a sanatorium and an asylum? Let's ask Google. Let's ask Skynet.
well, isn't one like a place to regain your health, and the other one is like to end your days or something like that? Like, you know you're gonna die, so that's where they put you.
Yeah, I think so. Let's see. It says an asylum is an outdated term for a mental hospital, essentially referring to an older, poorly regarded institution for people with mental illness.
But look
Okay.
up sanatorium and sanitarium because I think they're different.
All right.
Yeah, I had looked it up once before, but you know me, no brain. Memory retention is not my friend.
Okay. It says sanatorium and sanitarium are synonyms that refer to a medical facility specializing in the treatment of care of patients with chronic diseases and those recovering from serious illness. So that would be the place where when you watch those investigations, they're leaving all the patients out on the patio and leaving the doors wide open so that they can
Yeah,
get like air
people like with
treatment.
TB and stuff.
Yeah, tuberculosis and everything like that.
Hmm.
That's crazy. Speaking of that, tuberculosis, I actually have to go. That's an errand that I got to run today. I got to go get a TB test for work.
There's an outbreak of TB somewhere here in the States. I forget where.
Really?
Yeah, it
Oh
was
my
just
God.
recently, and whole outbreak of measles too. I think it was in North
Really?
Texas.
Mm-hmm.
I'm freaking out right now because my dad is sitting at 5 degrees right now.
In
I'm like, you're,
Texas?
yeah, in
And it's
Texas,
almost fucking March. Oh my God.
5 degrees. I'm like, what?
Yeah, I could.
No
Yeah,
way.
Texas is not it right now. But speaking about the craft, do you want to talk a little bit about what you practice and how you practice on like a daily basis and things like that?
Yeah, so like, I usually start my day off with just saging myself because I'm a
Every day?
sleepwalker. I sleep wander.
Oh,
You
wow.
know, I go places in my sleep, so I want to come back and make sure that I didn't bring nothing back home with me. So I usually will wake up right away and sage myself and do a little, ritual with the coffee.
Of
Just
course.
so
Got to
that I'll
start the
have a
day off with
good
coffee.
harmonious day. There's little
Mm-hmm.
things that you do throughout the day to give yourself a better day. But
Yeah, but like regarding like the craft, like what do you do whenever you're setting like a ritual or something up? Like how are you prepping for that? Because I know every time you tell me, you always take forever to set up, and I'm like, what the hell is she doing?
I do because, well, usually I start out with the research, and I will research the hell out of it before I actually take on something.
Right.
Um,
Which is smart.
like know all your metaphysical properties and stuff, and gather everything you need, like everything
Mm-hmm.
you're going to use for the spell. Sometimes you'll use herbs, sometimes you'll use oils, sometimes you'll want to put some crystals in. I mean, there's
Right. And
just a bunch of different things.
what kind of magic do you practice? Like usually, like on a day to day,
Um,
not on a day to day, but like when you do go to practice, like what kind is it?
I'm very eclectic, I think, because I'm not like a green witch or a kitchen witch or none of that. I kind of have like a little bit of everything all rolled into one.
Right.
Kind of like a, you know, chaotic kind of witch. I
Mm-hmm.
just throw everything at it and hope something sticks.
Yeah, like kind of all over the place, but you just kind of it works for you, you know. That's how you
Yeah,
resonate with it.
yeah, exactly. Um,
Talking about like clairvoyance and everything, like what kind of clair do you think you resonate with the most?
the
Like for
most
me, yeah, for me, I would say like I think I'm the knowing kind, and let me pull it up just so I can see what I'm talking about.
are cognizant,
What's that one again?
the sensing, the
Sensing?
knowing. Yeah,
Yeah, I
like you
think I
can
would.
sense or just know that something is present.
Yeah, right.
Um,
Which one do
I
you
don't
think you would
know.
resonate with?
For me, I think more than anything, I think clairaudient. I hear a lot.
Yeah, you say that a lot, that you're hearing things and things
Yeah,
like
I
that.
hear I
Okay.
hear a lot. Um, so I think maybe that's more pronounced than the rest or the others.
Right.
But I have a little bit of each. Like not real like it's so random. I never know which ability is going to come through for me. Like it's so
Mm-hmm.
random.
Yeah. But you can definitely pick up on them all the time, right?
No, not all the time. Sometimes it's like um seeing seeing spirit and not even realizing that it's spirit. Like sometimes they
Right.
have such a physical appearance that you really didn't even go there. Like your mind didn't even
Mm-hmm.
go there. Um, and then learning later that they weren't really alive.
Mm-hmm. So you thinking
That's
it
what.
might be like a spirit guide or something?
No, well, like the not too long ago, I was working at a client's house, and I went out to gather some linens. And as I was pulling this stuff out of the closet, there's another door a little ways down the hallway, and a man came out, and I said hi to him. He said hi back, kind of in a mumbled kind of way, but I mean, it was clearly a hi, and I
Mm-hmm.
could see him. I could descriptively see this person,
Right.
and then like I really didn't pay much attention to it because like I'm in hospice, so we sometimes have family members come in, and people are in and out all the time. So I didn't think nothing of it. I just thought maybe it was one of the family members or whatever. So when I went back and I was taking care of my patients, their daughter and sister-in-law came in, and we were talking and stuff, and I said something about the young man that I had just seen, and they were like, nobody's supposed to be here. And I was like,
Ooh.
that kind of scared me because I thought, well, maybe I had an intruder or something, what's going on here? And
Right.
one of the sister-in-laws pulled me out into the hallway, and she just wanted to know all the details, like what did he look like and what was he wearing, and in case, I guess, in case if it was an intruder, so that she could, at least make a police report or whatever.
Did you get
But
a good look at him?
mhm, yeah, yeah, I could tell you exactly what he looked like. So I did. I
Describe
told
him.
her exactly.
What did he look like?
Um, he
Unknown
kind of had
fella.
like he had like real dark black hair, and it was kind of spiky,
Mm,
kind of like a
like an early 2000s kind of haircut.
I wouldn't call it like a crew cut or anything, but it was kind of short and spiky,
Mm,
like not real high off his head like a mohawk or nothing like that, but it was kind of spiky. He had little
kind of
spikes.
like Linkin Park, like Numb music video.
Yeah,
Yeah, like
yeah,
that.
yeah, and I mean, he looked like what I what I would call typical Hispanic. I mean,
Oh,
I
he
don't
was
know how else to
Hispanic?
describe him. Yeah,
Okay.
he was Hispanic and kind of tall, maybe 5'11", 6 foot, maybe, I don't know, something
What
like
was he,
that.
a skinny guy, chunky guy?
Kind of in between, like he was kind of proportioned, he wasn't real heavy set, but not like
Did he look
railroad
like he
thin.
was walking with like a purpose or no?
I didn't really notice. Like I just saw him come out of the bathroom and I just looked at him and that was it. I mean, I didn't see like where he was going or anything because I had stuff to do, I was already I have a one track mind too. Like I want to get my job done.
Yeah.
So, but I was talking to this lady and I gave her all the details and everything, and then she went back inside and she said something to, I guess, one of her sister-in-laws or whatever, and she dug in her purse for a little bit and pulled out a picture, and the other woman handed it to me and she goes, "Is this him?" And I was like, "Oh my goodness, yeah, that's him."
Oh
So
shit.
I thought, woo, it's a family member. Okay, I'm safe.
Yeah.
And then she when I said, "Yeah, that's him," she was like, "No, that can't be." And I was like, "Yeah, that's him. I'm pretty sure that's him."
Was it somebody that they already knew was passed away, like like in the early 2000s or something?
Yes, it was the other lady's son that had passed away like several years before, like 2 or 3 years before.
Oh
And
shoot.
he
Was
had
he like a
actually
patient
been
there?
he had been living with his grandparents when he passed away. So I was like, "Oh man."
How long ago was that?
And when I saw him,
Yeah.
or when I saw him, it was I posted it in the paranormal thing when
Mm-hmm.
that happened. What was it, like 2 weeks ago? A
Yeah,
week
it was like a week
week
and a
and a half
half
ago?
almost. Yeah, about.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yep.
Have you had any other experiences other than that? Because that's crazy.
Um,
Let's talk about your most profound experience. Like what experience like fucked you up like the most, like to this day. It doesn't matter any time in your life. Like what's the one that sticks out to you?
the the Ouija board experience.
Let's talk about it. What happened? Let's talk
Yeah.
about it.
Okay, so
Because I feel like you vaguely told me about this one, but you got to remind me. So let's hear it.
so my mom was married several times and we were with stepdad number 3 at the time,
Mm-hmm.
and he had a pretty large family, extended family and stuff. And we would always go to his parents' house for Christmas, and all the aunts and uncles and cousins and everybody would be there, and it was just like a really full house because there was a lot of people. And one of the aunts had bought a one gift for each of us kids, but she bought one that we were supposed to share.
Mm-hmm.
And that one gift that we were supposed to share was the Ouija board.
Oh shit. Was it just like the
And
the typical Ouija board or was it like a spirit board or something?
you know what? I don't even know. Like, I had no clue what a Ouija board even was. I had never seen one before.
Because you know they
I
used
think
to
I
sell
was,
them at Target, right? Or not Target, like Toys R Us.
yeah, like I mean, I know they were sold like as toys, like game boards and stuff, but
Right.
I had never experienced anything like that. Like
Mm-hmm.
my mom was not real super religious, but she kind of came up with that background, so
Right.
she just didn't allow stuff like that in our house. And
Mm-hmm.
so actually when she saw it, she was very upset. Like called all the adults into the kitchen. You could hear them loudly disagreeing over this Ouija board that was a gift. And I'm like, it was kind of weird to me because it was a gift. I mean, I didn't understand the ramifications of it at the time.
Right.
So,
Really quick,
um,
I would just want to say the Ouija board was created by Elijah Bond. It says is credited with inventing the Ouija board. He patented it in 1891. Charles Kennard and Bond Megan started manufacturing the board in Baltimore, Maryland, and later took the production under the name Ouija. Damn, so it's been out forever now. I just
didn't
wanted to.
Milton
What's that?
Bradley also make the Ouija boards?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it says it changed hands a couple times, but the guy that
Yeah.
patented it was in 1891, and I guess they started in Maryland.
Wow, that's crazy.
It
Think
says
that
he
it's
died in
that old.
1927. I know, right?
They have some
It
really
said they.
nice ones on Etsy. Really
I know,
decorative and made by hand too, so
right?
super special.
Some of them get really cool, and it's like they're the most simple thing. It's literally a piece of cardboard with
Yeah.
letters and stuff on it, and you
Mhm.
make it talk.
Well,
It's
you
crazy.
don't make it talk. The spirits make it talk.
Yeah, right. It's like a tool,
Mhm.
but
It's a
it's like
divination
the.
tool,
Mm-hmm. But
just like
it's the kind of tool.
scrying or
Yeah, it's like the.
pendulums or yeah,
Mm-hmm.
tarot cards are another divination tool.
Yeah,
There's a lot of them out
something.
there.
What tools do you like to use?
Um, I have a pendulum. I have the tarot cards.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't really, like, I'm practicing, still learning,
Yeah,
trying to get the hang of reading them and,
but what's your favorite to use? Like on a like whenever you do use it, probably the cards or no, right?
um, actually, no, I think I like the pendulum more.
That fascinates you the most?
Yeah,
Really?
because I can pretty much use it anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Like, just the pendulum. And, I mean, put a piece of paper in front of me with a list of people, and I can make that pendulum go to a specific person for specific things or, whatever I want to know.
Does it
So
have to
it's
work
really,
like you're holding it and then it kind of spins like that, or does it work like how do I say
yeah,
it?
so like you want to calibrate it just like any other tool.
How do you
You
calibrate
want
it?
to you want to ask it, okay, show me yes, and it will like distinctly go one way or the other. Like
Mm-hmm.
it'll go vertical, horizontal, or back and forth, like in a
Oh,
circle.
okay.
So,
But it's
yeah,
not like
so
just swinging in a circle, right?
no,
That's what I don't know why I always thought pendulums were just something you kind of hold and then it would start swinging
no.
like a
Well,
merry-go-round.
I mean, it can do that. Like if you're looking at a map and you want to know, like, scrying for certain destinations, like if you want to go somewhere specific and you don't know where, like a pendulum is good for that.
Right.
And it
Would you
and
say
it
that's like
will
a
like
paranormal kind of tool, or would you say that's like a spiritual kind of tool?
spiritual definitely.
What do you think would be better for investigations? Spiritual tools or like EVPs and REM pods, and because those will be like paranormal tools, right?
Oh yeah. Um,
What do you think would be best for, or let's say, or let's talk about what's your favorite paranormal tool? Mine would probably be the paranormal tool. If I'm being
I
honest, the
think
bell.
yeah, the bell is pretty cool. It's
Yeah.
similar to the REM pod, it just makes a different noise. Or the
Mm-hmm.
music box. The music box is pretty cool too.
Okay. Yeah, those
I
are
mean,
motion. What's the tool, the paranormal tool that you absolutely fucking hate?
um, I don't know if I had to choose one that I least like, it'd probably be the dowsing rods.
Yeah,
But
I
that's
never
more
understood
of
those,
a
right?
that's more of a divination tool as well.
Is it really?
It's
Yeah, I
just
thought so.
harder to get accurate answers.
Mm-hmm.
It's
No,
that
that makes
I
perfect
think
sense.
I think that's why I don't really care for it as
I
far
would
as
definitely,
paranormal investigation goes.
right. I would definitely put the dowsing rods in the same category as like the pendulum, right?
Pendulum, yeah.
Right. That's pretty cool. That's interesting. What do you think about like the Spirit Talker apps and everything like that? What do you think about those?
I think they're useful.
Shout out
I think they're
Amy.
useful. Yeah,
Shout out
shout out
Sam.
Amy.
Yeah.
I think they're useful. You know, like you get some pretty good responses out of them. I mean, if you're talking to something intelligent.
Have you ever gotten your name on Spirit Talker?
Never.
Really?
No,
What
never.
about like EVP recorders?
Mm,
You ever try these?
never.
Never?
Mm-mm.
Why?
Why would I need one of those when I can hear them myself?
That's true. But what if there's like background? What if
I
there's
mean, I
like
guess if I wanted to prove it to somebody else, I would use one of those,
I think that's
you
the
know.
tool you would use to like gather the evidence, right? Like of course you hear it
Hmm.
on the daily basis, but yeah, like you said, if you ever wanted to show somebody, you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah,
That makes
for
perfect
sure.
sense. I've still to this day never gotten an EVP. Never. I can't wait to get my first one.
You
I
will
think I'm like the
eventually.
weird exception, right? I've never had a paranormal experience. I've never had an EVP. I've never had. I mean, there's been weird things happening, but it's not like anything concrete. I'm not like, you know what I mean? I'm not like a skeptic or anything,
Mm.
but I'm just like, I'm patiently waiting. But I think me patiently waiting is going to prolong that longer and longer, right?
I mean, I don't know. You have to be open to it too. I mean,
Oh, I'm definitely open to
yeah,
it.
if you let down your guards and just allow spirit to come and connect with you,
I think that's the key. I need to just stop expecting it, stop anticipating it, and just kind of let it be, right?
yeah,
That makes sense.
just let it happen organically, you know?
Yeah. What do you think? You think in our lifetimes we're gonna get the answer to those three important questions? Let me ask you: do you remember what those three important questions were?
Um,
What happens after life, or what happens after death?
yeah.
Are we alone in the universe?
uh, Yeah.
And will Randy ever get laid? Do you
I
think we're
say
gonna
yes
get
to
those
all three.
answers in our
Yes,
lifetime?
we'll get those answers in our lifetime.
Okay, cool. Alrighty. Well, I think that was a pretty good chat for today.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah, not too bad, right?
Not
This will
too
be
bad at
episode
all.
5. What do you think, Ruby? Episode 5. This will go out today.
Sure,
You okay with that?
I am. I'm okay with that.
Awesome. Yeah, maybe in the future we'll be able to get more of the homies from Discord and on a couple episodes, and I'm totally fine for that. We can just shoot an invite out and
Hi,
run it from
homies
there.
from Discord.
Yeah, right. Shout out all the homies from Discord, right? But yeah, I think it'll be good. If you're watching this on YouTube, we'll have the link in the
Mhm.
description. So definitely come over there if you want to
Yeah,
have more spooky talk, more all that good stuff.
Oh yeah, we have a good time over there.
Yeah, it'll be fun, right? So
Hmm.
it's been real. This is the Afterlife File podcast. I really do appreciate everybody that watches the videos, watches the podcast. If you haven't noticed, I'm not a YouTuber. I've got no idea what I'm doing. We are winging this shit. I swear, we are just winging it, but we're making it right. So, episode 5. I appreciate you, Ruby, for coming on the podcast and being my first guest. And it's only
Hey,
going to go up from here.
anytime.
I promise.
You got it.
It's been real.